Got some new things coming in on the farm today. Got this thing here behind me. Get a better picture of it here in a little bit, but it's something we've been waiting on for several months and glad it's here. Also going to be working on that new chicken coop. Get it a little more done on it before the weather closes in. It's supposed to be kind of nice today. We'll take you out and show you the ducks and the chickens and how that's all going out there. But first we got some sad business to take care of. Their little goat passed away. We knew it was likely to happen, and she finally gave it up. So first thing on the agenda is taking care of that this morning. Stick around, come back, we'll get that done, and on to more exciting and happier times. We'll see you in a bit. Bye. Well, the deed is done. She passed, I guess, in the night somewhere in time. She was under a pile of those pallets over there that I like to get in, lay in, and get out of the weather, get one less little den in there. She was down in it, and cold and stiff. So we put her here in the garden. She'll recycle and become part of the cycle of life, as it were. And so maybe next spring, when we plant this over and she's there giving it away, maybe she'll be able to rest in peace. I know. Yeah, just leave in the comments. Let's take up some better news and go up and see what's going on back at the house. Well, we got some big doings going on here. A while back, several months ago, we ordered a shed from Shrunks through our tri-state distributors here in Donaldson, and it finally came in. Well, they had it available here several weeks ago, but I was down sick with the flu, and in this day and age you don't know if it's the flu or COVID or whatever, so we had it delayed for a while until I got better and was tested and such. And I got better, and I've been tested, and so we're good. They had it delivered, or they delivered it, and here it is. Right there, that's a 12 by 24, and we'll go here inside in a minute. I want to give you an idea of how they got it in here. They brought it in on a tractor, on a trailer, pulled behind a big pickup. In the back of that pickup was a flatbed with a thing that looked like a walk-behind forklift. And he had two sets of wheels that he's able to slip under these skids here and over here. And then on the other end, he picked it up with that forklift and pulled it, drug it up the driveway and around to the side, around over here, and then lifted it up and set it on top of, or carried it over those boards. I wasn't able to get it on there straight the first time, so he had to, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it's kind of worked his way over to where it is. And then he set it down and pulled away, and that was it. It was real simple. It wasn't much more difficult than just a single forklift going up and over. We got an overhang on this side here on these boards, and there's a couple of reasons for that. The building is 12 foot wide, and I was going to put 12 foot beams under it. I originally thought, on the model we looked at, that these two skids here were closer together. I thought they were, this one was inset about 1.5 feet or so. Glad I didn't count on that. But with a 12-foot beam, that would have given a 1.5 foot overhang on either side. But when I went to get the lumber, because of the lumber shortage and everything, they didn't have 12-foot beams. They only had 14 foot. So I had to get 14 feet. And that leaves me about 2 feet of overhang on this side. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to cut 2 feet off of a board and then throw it away. You know, you're homesteading, you make do with what you got. I can't use a 2-foot piece of 2x10, but I can use a 2-foot elevated ledge right here to put things on and keep them up off the dirt and out of the snow and the rain and the mud. And maybe even build a little greenhouse type lean-to on that, just kind of glass it in, and it's facing south. In the winter, that might be a good place to get some heat and maybe generate some solar heat coming up through those vents in there. There's all kinds of possibilities that you can put that to if you think about it. But this is a 12 foot by 24, and it's lofted on the inside. Let's go take a look and see what the inside brings us. It's a fairly simple rig. It is just a big box. Got a nice little country motif here on the front of that door. This ramp, by the way, is not there. It's something I threw up there so we could roll in and out. Got it sitting on some concrete blocks, and this little latch here is nice. It opens up and has a little simple little latch on it there, and it's locking, so that's all good. And this one here latches at the top and the bottom. It's got that little barrel bolt there that holds down into the threshold, and a little piece of metal across there to keep the wear down. But you can see it's just a big empty box, 12 by 24. It's 2-foot centers, 24-inch centers on the studs. It's about 7 foot maybe on the inside to the ceiling joists. And it's got about a 4 foot, it's lofted, so there's a space on both ends. And it's good storage space up there. And about 4 feet here in the center that you can crawl up and get to that space. Plenty of ventilation. We got ventilation holes on both sides and at the top up there on each end. So we got plenty of ventilation in here, so it's not going to get all stuffy and musty and damp. Help cut down on mold. We got ventilation space here. Good air space communication between top and the bottom. So again, we don't have any dry, musty, moldy spaces. This will be used initially for storage. We got some rolling shelves that I've made to store tools in that we'll put in here. And they will fill up a goodly part of it. And then I'll use the front of it for a workshop, and the rest of it, until I'll use it as a workshop until the rest of it crowds me out. But the initial plan is to put stuff from the house in here to clear it out of the house so that we will have contractors coming in from somewhere to finish up the drywall on the ceiling. We know that's going to get dirty and all messed up with drywall mud. And so we don't want to really leave anything in there that we don't have to. So we'll be moving most of that stuff that's in the house now out in here and using this for storage and access. Once we get that finished, then we can start moving things back in an orderly fashion. And then I can use this space out here to build cabinets for the kitchen and other places. So that's the shed, the big S shed, big S shed, I said. So let's go take a look at some other stuff we're doing out here. I got to get working on that coop while the weather's nice, and I'll be taking you along. So stick around. Oh, good afternoon. We're geared putting up this chicken shed. We got a couple of walls up. Need 2 more walls to come out here, 16 feet, and another wall across to cap it. We're gonna make them all 8 feet long and 8 feet tall. And a cover them with chicken wire and put a door on the end. Thinking about seeing if we can't integrate that mobile coop into it somehow, but we'll go with what we got planned now, and if we can change it later, we may fudge things around a little bit. So we got our boards here. We need 2 8-foot long top and bottom plates, and we need 5 stud length pieces of wood to get our 8-foot tall. We'll measure these off, line them up on an end, and wouldn't you know it, one of them's longer than the other. They manufacture these at a big manufacturers. You cut them 8 feet, hundreds of times a day. You'd think they could get it within a half inch. Which one do you think's wrong? It's too long or too short? And the winner is the green one. The green one's about half an inch too long. Pressure treated stock is half an inch longer than it should be. Well, ain't nothing for it but to line it up and cut it off. We'll get that saw. I'll be right back. Always works best if your blade goes all the way through the wood when you cut. That's more better. All right, that's better. Now, this isn't a heavy load bearing wall. It's gonna be holding up chicken wire. That's about it. So we're gonna go 2-foot centers. Come out here and mark them on 2 foot, and I'm gonna put an X on the same side of the line. That way, I know which side the stud goes on. Which side isn't as important as they all go on the same side relative to an end. So if I put one on this side of the line, on this side, on this bottom, and on that side of the line on the top, that side's going to be going like this. We don't want that. We want it nice and straight up and down. Counter to what we did in the house. At least we tried. So I'm working on a kind of a short, limited space here. So I'm going to do this kind of off the wall. Yeah, right. I'm going to spread these out. And let's see here. Say it'd be real nice if I had an 8-foot wide platform I could work off of. Some people call them workbenches. Whatever you want to call it, it's a good workspace. Unfortunately, I don't, so I'll have to support this as I'm able. And that wrist is acting up on me today for some reason. Really sore. So I'm going to start here in the middle. Line up that edge with the mark. And come down here on the end. See, the problem is these cross pieces aren't 8 feet long. These are. It means the end is going to have to stick over. So one end will have to be done separate from the others. It would be real nice if these were nice and square and straight and true and plumb. But that ain't going to happen. One, this is a chicken coop, so it doesn't really need to be. And two, it's going to be on the ground outside, and the ground is sloped. So you want it square to the ground. Just a second. Let me get this piece of wood here. So as I was saying, if you want it square, you go to square to the ground, which is sloped, in which case it would be angled, it wouldn't be straight up and down. You're going straight up and down, plumb. Well, either way, it's your choice. Now this I'm going to have to balance because I don't have support for it. So we'll get one of them in, one in the center. Probably the best to do it. And then we'll come back, pick up the end, and work the other way. Now we got some supports on this. We can shove the whole thing down, get the end piece. All right, all done. Now it's time to get it in place. So we want that in on the ground. It's pressure treated. And because I don't have to walk past it all the time, putting the next one up, I'm going to put it on the far side. Now, there's not a lot of support laterally. We'll fix that by running a couple of boards across the top. And the end wall is going to be right here. So that'll give it a good support this way when we get it in place. Until then, put this cross brace in place to kind of hold it down. Wind can still blow it over. We're going to truss it for right now. I got 2 more of these to do, and I'll get back with you when it's finished. Well, here it is. Final 3 walls are up. We got this one tied into there. We got another one like it over here tied into this. We got this one capping them off. Now, these long walls are all tied to a post sunk in the ground on that lean-to. They're real sturdy this way. Not going to move at all. This end, though, is loose and wobbly. The only thing holding these 2 ends apart is this here, and it's not all that stable. So I'm going to have to brace this somehow. We'll get into that tomorrow sometime. But some of the issues, features, things to accommodate when working around the farm like this is you don't have everything nice and square. The board that this is tied into on that post is about 2 inches further that way than the board this one's tied into on this post. So this one comes out here, and this one comes out here, and so we got kind of this back part here is kind of angled over like that. So if I make one of them 90, the other's not, and they're not both going to be 90. So, and we still got to bend it a little bit to get them to come together. So it's not 90, so we got to bend them in a little bit to get them to come together. So we're going to have to fit a brace across here. This board across here in the back, this one, is a brace to kind of hold them together temporarily. I may leave that in there as a roost. Depends on what the chickens decide. I guess they'll let me know here shortly. Maybe. 2 fences and they still get out. Anyway, I've got to go take care of the animals right now. And so I can take the car back to the wife. Mine's getting the oil changed, and so I have hers today. So I've got to finish up here early and go take care of that. So let's go get the animals taken care of, and I'll bring you right along. Well, here we are in the chicken house, coop, pen, whatever, and the ducks around. Got a few of them here. A lot of them got out. Not the ducks, they're too fat. But a lot of the hens are outside this inner fence. They get out and roam around all day. They just kind of go through or under, around, and sometimes over. Yeah, there they are. They get out on their own, but then when they want to get back in, they kind of forget how. And then they get chased. The roosters get out there, they chase them on both sides of the fence. Anyway, it's time to start feeding. And it's a little early. It's a little early, so they're kind of not used to it yet, but let me go grab all the feeders and we'll dish them out right about here. This guy always causes trouble. He'll sneak up behind you, jump on your leg. Those spurs, if you're not wearing heavy pants, he can draw blood. This green feeder works the best with the feed we're using. This feed, kind of a powdery stuff. I'm not going to use it anymore. We've had some problems with that feed going through our feeders. The feed doesn't feed through the feeders. And the green one's okay, but this blue one, this is still as full as it was yesterday, even though the hens have eaten out the bottom part of it here. It's still full, it just doesn't go through it. It's too powdery. Cakes up, doesn't flow. So that's all the feed. We had one more feeder over underneath the chicken tractor. Not the big red tractor and chickens, but that tractor there. It's full, just like before. It doesn't feed. This feed we have just does not flow through the feeders. So I won't be using it again. Ducks have 3 sources of water, and well, the chickens do too. They got these 2 pans, tubs, buckets, whatever. And one of these gets filled up, rinsed out, and filled up with fresh water every day. The other gets refilled with water that it looks foul and dirty, and it is. It's just dirty. They dig around in the dirt here, get their beaks all muddy and wet, and dirty, and they go over and wash it off, and that gets the mud in the water. And so it's just mud, which they find out in the river. They were in a river and going through life in the wild. It'd be in a muddy, algae-filled river. After we give water to the ducks, it's time to water the ducks. Everybody likes a little water. And who doesn't like to drink water from a hose, right? I think this is their best part of it. Everybody lines up for a shower. Everybody gets lined up for a shower. Even though it's kind of cool. There we go. Oh, that feels good. Yeah. Okay, one last straggler, maybe 2 more. 2 more. That one in line. Okay. You want some? All right. We have to cut a little short today, guys. I'm going to give them a little treat, and then we're going to call it a night. Hey, chick. Hey, chick. Here, duck. Here, chicky. Here, chick. Here, duck. Here, chick. Here, chick. I give them a treat of some kind almost every day. Usually something from the garden or scraps from the kitchen. When I don't have those things, I got some whole corn that I give them. And we just scatter it around. Here, chick. Here, chick. Here, chick. Here, duck. Here, chick. Here, duck. Here, chick. Here, duck. Here, chick. They seem to like it. And I hear the whole corn is better for them than the cracked corn. I don't know. I give them both, so either way, they're good. Anyway, that's the farm vlog for today. I got, like I said, I got to go take the car back to the wife so she can go get her glasses, and I can pick up my truck and I don't know, come back here and maybe do a little something tonight. But we'll see you tomorrow when we start this crazy business all over again. If you like what you see, hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of this, and ring that notification bell so you'll see the latest and greatest of what's happening here on the farm. Talk to you later. Bye.